Yahtzee! Here we go! It's time for Three Guys Before the Game. Game number 2 of the 2024 campaign. It's West Virginia and Albany. Saturday night inside the stadium. 6 o'clock kickoff. The new lights will be on display.
6 Eastern.
They were last week.
Well, they were, but they didn't do the fancy stuff.
This week is the
Saturday. Saturday when it gets dark and the lights are actually working and the Mountaineers cross the goal line, they're gonna flash them things all over.
They can do all kinds of stuff.
The flash.
And when the Danes have the ball, they'll strobe.
No, you can't do that.
Okay,
Can't do that. One other thing you can't do with the lights, I'll tell you about that in a second.
Okay.
Three Guys Before the Game, brought to us by Comax Business Systems, keeping West Virginia's business data safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years. By Gomart. Get a Gomart rewards card and immediately save on fuel and food. Rack up those rewards points. Go to Gomart.com or download the Gomart app. I have it on my phone. By Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans. They sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com. Still trying to confirm whether Albany is taking the Erie Barge Canal on some pontoons from Lou Wendell to get here to Morgantown. Don't have that verified yet. Looking into it. Someone told us. Three Guys brought to us by Tudor's Biscuit World. Start your day the homemade way. Tudor's Biscuit World. And Brad's an old sales guy. And he knows that in his business, when he was in his past life in sports marketing, best way to get bang out of your sponsorship is through activation of that sponsorship.
Activate. Hoppy, got to activate your sponsorship.
Well, guess what? Tudor's Biscuit World, they activated with us today. We'll tell you about that coming up. They activated. Woo! Three Guys also brought to us by Conley.
Lined up, activated.
Yeah, they did. Conley CPA Group, providing value beyond numbers. We're going to get the keys to the game from Brad coming up. What's it all mean? All right, court's in session. Thanks so very much for being with us. Also coming up, textual healing. Got some great pictures for those of you that have never been able to attend our food court. We've got some great pictures from last week. And it's memorable. Those pictures were memorable. I wasn't there much.
Well, you had things.
I had too many things last week. I will be there a good chunk this weekend. I did not know, Hoppy, about your outfit until I saw the pictures. First I've seen of that. There's a new line, Brad. First I've seen of that.
I was told it worked.
It did. It was an awesome look. We'll show it to you later. For those of you that watch. Good to have you all here with us. Okay, so a couple of things, just some really super basic stuff first. Food court this week begins on Friday afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern. It'll go to about 9:30, 10 o'clock. And Saturday morning, we'll start the food court at 8, and it'll go to about 4-ish, 5 o'clock on game day. So you have a good chance to get Rev Kev's barbecue, to get Connection 304. Plus, I'm going to give you a litany of other things that we have. And we got a special guest coming on Saturday.
Oh, really?
To make a special item.
What's that mean?
I'll tell you. Coming up in just a little bit. It's got to do with Romney peaches.
Oh, that special guest. Yeah.
Romney peaches. All right, so...
like a peach shake or a peach sundae?
Heading in that direction, yeah.
Peach sundae?
Heading in that direction.
Okay.
Correct. Where shall we begin here? I'm just glad this week is almost over in the sense that, I'm so freaking done of talking about Penn State. I'm just like, okay, guess what? Score ain't changing. Score's not going to change.
Are you sure?
Let's go move to the next one. And as far as I know, we still have 11 of these bad boys left. So let's go play some few other ones before we can make a complete autopsy report on the patient.
Well, he's going to be bummed out because we're going to take a look back at some numbers. He's going to be a little bummed out over here.
You won't let it go.
So you might want to hang around another couple hours
I'm
talking
leaving.
about it.
Listen, I'm going to go get a glass of water.
I'm
going to go get a big glass of water.
Here's why I say that, and I agree with you, but I thought Neil said this pretty well. You've got to acknowledge that you did not play well.
Right.
Acknowledge.
And he did. Everybody has.
Yeah.
But then you've got to learn from it. What can you learn from it? And I agree. That's what I have tried to do this week, Hop, is take some things. What did we see? What did the numbers tell us? Can we project forward? What does it mean moving forward, if anything? Because it's one data point in a season of 12, maybe more. This week also probably isn't going to give you a great data point either. Right, so your first couple of preseason games here, week 1 and 2 of your preseason games, you're not going to get great data points out of this game. This game, to me, is mostly about West Virginia. So we can talk Albany, we can preview Albany, we can do, but really this is about West Virginia. Can West Virginia get its timing back? Can it look smoother on offense? And by the way, it should. Can it get some defensive standout performances? But this is refocus. Get your timing back on the same page, get some confidence back, and then turn the page to what becomes a very difficult 6-game stretch coming up. Pitt on the road, no gimme, and then those 5 games to open the Big 12 conference season. So to me, this is about West Virginia. It's less about, with all due respect to the Great Danes, it's less about Albany.
Yeah, and I thought this week, okay, I got to research the Danes, and I couldn't get into it. I mean, I just...
Excuse me?
I mean, all due respect.
By the way, all due respect, you used that yesterday when you had Senator Manchin on your talk show.
What did I use?
You used, with all due respect.
Excellent. Did you attack him after you said it?
And I was shaving.
Did you attack Senator Manchin after he said it?
I was shaving right at that time. I think I was shaving or doing something, and you said, yeah, but Senator, with all due respect, and I giggled. I said, that.
I should have said he had a bill he's trying to get passed. Are you efforting on that?
Anyway, we digress.
Well, just and this.
So why? For the same reasons I just said right there.
I can't. I mean, I got only so much bandwidth, and I can't get interested. I mean, again, that sounds condescending, and I apologize to the Great Danes. That's a wonderful school, by the way. I mean, they've been around for 175 years. They're in the top 100 academically of public institutions in the country.
Top 100.
In the top 100. So it's a fine school. I can't say, boy, I gotta watch this and see what the quarterback.
I understand.
I'm not interested.
You don't have to. Apologize.
No, I just want to explain that why I don't have any research on the Great Danes. But as Brad said, one of the great benefits of this coaching staff, and we've talked about this of West Virginia, is they tell you things. And like Neil Brown said, it's about simplifying what we're trying to do in the run game, making sure our cutback lanes are in better spots. I mean, that's a micro piece. And I'm sure Brad has a bunch of that stuff. So what is it? Are there 6 things? Are there 16 things that West Virginia did not do well in that game that they worked on this week and say, okay, Brad, I disagree a little bit that you will get some measurement from this game and say, did you do better in this game in these things that you did not do well in this other game?
Well, you're going to do better, but you're going to come in here Sunday and say it didn't mean anything. So if West Virginia goes and runs for 225, are you going to come in Sunday and tell me how the running game's fixed?
No. I'm gonna. The measurement will be: did the guy go the right way? Okay.
Let me just answer. The answer is yes.
Okay.
The guy will go the right way on Saturday.
Okay. And Tony, you talked about like a wide receiver, instead of running downfield,
do what you're coached to do.
Do
for
what
example,
you're coached to do on a run play.
Big mistake. So I talked to Bilal Marshall yesterday. And I said, like, what was going on? He said, we're doing things that we weren't coached to do. In other words, if you're a receiver and it's a run play and you have to identify at the line, are they in man or are they in zone? Because if they're in man, you have to run them down the field so that they're not paying attention to support run. He said, our guys, for whatever reason, they're coached, identify man, go, run them down the field. Instead, they're pulling up and they're blocking. And they're going like, that's not what so those kinds of things.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Very fixable, very correctable, but those are some of the reasons why that things did not look good on Saturday. But everyone's responsible, so you gotta fix yourself.
So that's what I'm talking about, Brad. Not again, if you go out and win 40-7, not like, oh, everything's fixed. Just did they fix the things, the performance things that needed fixed?
Yeah, but doesn't mean they're fixed for the Kansas game.
No, but
they will be fixed on Saturday. You're going to line up and you're better than the guy across from you, so things are going to look a lot better.
Okay, I understand that. But does the snap come back and hit the guy who's in motion? or does the snap come back clean? Okay.
Well, that doesn't mean it's fixed if it comes back clean, just like it doesn't mean it's broken all season because it was bad the other day. That'll work. Timing will be better.
Well, then
timing will be better.
I don't think we're talking about the same thing.
Here's what I think. I think
we are, but I'm saying you can't make definitive judgments coming out of Saturday. They're going to roll. They're going to roll Saturday. They're going to look good. They're going to play well, and you can't say that it's
okay.
Fixed.
I'm not making definitive judgment. I'm saying that if on the first possession, the motion guy is coming across and the ball hits them, that's not fixed.
Correct. And if he comes across the first time and it doesn't hit him, it's also not fixed. It was better for that play.
Allow me to interject since this is going nowhere. I would think this. The one thing that you'll take from this game is if you've got problems. To his point, I don't think it's going to say that everything is great and there's a utopian football team that's out there and it's perfect. But if you struggle in this game, if you do things...
Same mistakes.
Those kind of mistakes. But if you don't absolutely choke these guys out, then you're going to have a problem. And I base that upon past experiences against FCS teams. I mean, West Virginia, its last 4 FCS opponents, has averaged over 60 points per game.
Right.
And they're as stingy as Scrooge in giving up points. All of a sudden, you get into this game on Saturday and its final score 28-17. You got a hell of a problem.
Agreed.
So
agreed.
If it's 58-0, that doesn't mean everything's going to be great going forward, but it at least tells you that you're not in desperate straits. And I'm with him. I will be extremely bummed out if West Virginia, in any way, shape, or form, at the end of the game, hasn't absolutely choked them out, and there's no questions, no ifs, ands, or buts as to who was the dominant team. That's going to be a key for me. The numbers really, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be as much of a feel as it is the score, in my view. Okay. How do you say this? You got to beat the hell out of them. I mean, it's got to be one of those. They beat the living hell out of them.
Okay.
And if you don't, then you have a problem.
You can beat them in a submission and still not have a clean game.
That's true. That's true.
I think
again, it's a perception thing. When you watch it, what was the perception you took from it?
What of the Penn State? Oh,
this one. Okay. This one coming up.
Okay, I'm done. Next topic.
Well, let me see. If we had a sheet where we had topics that we were going to talk about, I'd look at it now, but I don't have one. You ready to do your numbers?
Hit the music.
You ready already?
I was ready from the start. So I told you.
Well, I just tell you what. I hate week 2. I hate week 2 for you two guys to be off in it. This is exactly how the Beatles broke up.
Here's my favorite thing about Great Danes, though, that you told me, Tony, and I was looking last night when I was trying to do research. They have a receiver named 7 who wears 7.
You know why?
I'm up on that.
You know why?
Why?
He's the 7th child of that family.
Oh, that's a great nugget.
Good thing he's not 13.
So I check the numbers. We'll just go right to the numbers.
Think about that.
Here comes a heater.
Good thing he's not 24.
Let's jump into the analytics portion of the show. Ready?
My dad would have been 10. True. Spreads on Stats brought to us by Conley CPA Group. They provide value beyond numbers, complete service, public accounting, consulting. Coming up on their 40th year of serving clients around the state of West Virginia and surrounding states. One of the big things that has happened through technology is that you can now outsource various services that they can provide for you. They can outsource your accounting, outsource your CFO services, take away all the stress and all the time dealing with hiring people for your accounting staff. They'll do it for you. Right? Confidence, having continuity from their team of experts. You know, another thing these folks do, these high-level CPA folks, they give you strategy. Just not like, okay, you owe them this much. It's like, hey, you know, if we put this over here and then claim that loss that you had when you invested in Kercheval's hedge fund, you might be able to save some of your tax liability. Time for Spreads on Stats. All right, Sparky, what do you got?
Couple things. These are not keys to the game because, as I said, West Virginia wins on Saturday, so we're not wasting time with keys to the game. So just there.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow, that's pretty definitive.
All due respect to you, Albany.
All due respect.
Let's look at some of these things and see what we can pull out, see if we can glean anything by looking back at some of the numbers